The events of the 30th of July 1966 have never really been surpassed in the history of English football. England's fifth entry into the World Cup finals coincided with them hosting the tournament. It also coincided with England being able to call on an exceptional squad of players who took their country all the way to the final at Wembley against West Germany. Both countries had been held to draws by South American opposition in the group stages. Both had successfully won their groups. Both had beaten South American teams in the quarter-finals. Both were supremely confident of winning the Jules Rimet trophy. England's team that day contained three players from West Ham United. Everyone remembers the parts played by Bobby Moore and Geoff Hurst, but Martin Peters, number 16, laid the foundations for success. The football played that day was from a bygone age when all-out attack without safeguard enthralled huge crowds. In the 1966 final, England had 45 attempts on goal, West Germany 35. Little wonder we haven't had such a high-scoring final that day. This one, though, didn't count for England, ruled out because of Geoff Hurst's foul on Hans Tilkowski. 12 minutes into the game and Germany were ahead. Ray Wilson's slack-headed clearance fell to Helmut Haller. It was to be Ray Wilson's only mistake of the final. Haller had hit a decisive goal in the semi-finals against the Soviet Union and two in the quarter-finals against Uruguay at Hillsborough. West Germany's lead lasted just 12 minutes. The late Bobby Moore, who led the team with conviction and enormous grace, fashioned the equaliser, finding his West Ham colleague Geoff Hurst with this accurate free kick. If England could rely on the predatory skills of Geoff Hurst in attack, then Gordon Banks gave the team enormous security in goal. Banks was overshadowed by the great Lev Yashin in the 66 finals, and within 4 years he'd be acclaimed the world's top keeper. If England needed a match winner that day, they need look no further than Bobby Charlton, whose goals had put England through to the final. Charlton, though, was destined to have a frustrating afternoon, denied here by the save of Tilkowski. By the start of the second half, the rain had dried up, and so too had most of West Germany's attacks. Martin Peters, who'd been shackled for long periods of the opening 45 minutes, began to weave intricate patterns in the West German midfield. Bobby Charlton's impact on the game was being minimised by a young central defender called Franz Beckenbauer, who was just about managing with his colleagues to keep England out. However, it took England 30 minutes of the second half to find a way through, past West Germany's stubborn resistance. Geoff Hurst's shot was blocked and Martin Peters gives England a decisive lead. Peters had managed to give England the advantage, but he couldn't manage to give Bobby Charlton that incisive scoring pass, which would have ended the game as a contest. As time ran out for the West German team, they showed a fruitless willingness to shoot from anywhere. With just seconds remaining of the match, Sigi Held helped on this free kick, Schnellinger appeared to handle the ball, and Wolfgang Weber bundled West Germany's equaliser to take the match into extra time. Extra time proved to be a test of stamina of the two teams. Both wilted in the hot July sunshine, and the accuracy of the passing for once dipped below the high standards the two teams had set. Coming up, the most controversial goal ever scored in a World Cup final. 3 decades after Geoff Hurst's shot hit the underside of the bar and bounced to safety, you can still get a lively pub debate going on whether the ball crossed the goal line. The Russian linesman Bakramov gave his verdict in seconds on a sporting moment that's been debated for years and years. He went to his grave insisting Hurst's shot crossed the line, and there aren't many Englishmen who disagreed with him. The goal effectively killed off West Germany's will to win. For England to be denied victory once was unfortunate, twice would have been careless. There was still time for Geoff Hurst to write himself into the record books. With the last kick of the game, Hurst sealed his hat-trick, England's victory, and a place for himself in World Cup history. At the end, there were tears of delight and relief in equal measure. England had won the World Cup. It would be a long time before a group of footballers wearing England shirts would unite the nation with such pride and fervour.